Good morning. First of all, Senator Inhofe is very sorry he couldn't be here this morning. His wife, Kay, broke her leg last evening. She's in surgery, but we're very, very optimistic based on the reports we have. In fact, she'll be jogging around, beating me in a couple of weeks. On behalf of Chairman Inhofe, I'd like to read his prepared statement. Thank you to all the members of the Senate Armed Services Committee, especially our subcommittee chairs and ranking members. Yesterday, we successfully completed the full committee markup of the fiscal year 2020 National Defense Authorization Act. We finished in record time, not because of any lack of interest or oversight, but because of a bipartisan commitment to our national security and because of the remarkable work ahead of the mark by each and every one of our members. This week in total, we considered 433 amendments, and 298 of those were adopted. Our troops are our top priority. Our military is the best in the world because of our men and women in uniform, all volunteers. So we are making sure they have the resources and infrastructure they need to fight and win. The NDAA authorizes a total of $750 billion in funding for our national defense. The NDS Commission report is clear. This is the bare minimum we need to make sure our forces can address the threats we face. We make these investments with the National Defense Strategy as our blueprint. We align the budgets and resources for each service with our strategic priorities, addressing great power competition, regaining our combat advantage, and making the Pentagon run more effectively and efficiently. There are a few major initiatives that Chairman Inhofe would like to highlight today. We know space is a warfighting domain, so we are standing up a U.S. Space Force with the Air Force. Our strategy will set the Space Force up for success now and in the future while minimizing bureaucracy and cost. Another priority for Senator Inhofe was military family housing. After hearing from families all over the country, including Tinker Air Force Base in Oklahoma, we knew we had to take strong action. We worked together with military families and leaders to make substantial reforms to privatize on-base housing, giving our families the peace of mind they deserve. We also make sure we've got the capabilities needed to counter threats from great power competitors like Russia and China and rogue regimes like Iran and North Korea. This includes maintaining our nuclear weapons stockpile and protecting our cyber networks. To keep up with our adversaries, we've prioritized investments in the next generation of equipment, weapons, and other defense platforms. This is a good bill. We look forward to getting this bill to the floor as quickly as possible. Last year, we were able to get our troops the resources they needed on time for the first time in a decade. I hope we can do this again this year. We need to avoid another harmful continuing resolution by getting a budget agreement that prioritizes defense. All of our military leaders agree that a continuing resolution wastes money, doesn't prioritize defense spending in the right places, slows modernization, and decreases the morale of the forces. So we need a good budget deal, and soon. Let's get it done. Thank you. Now, if you will, let me make a few brief comments on my own. First, let me commend Senator Inhofe. He led a thorough bipartisan effort. He did it with great judgment and great respect for all the members of the committee. And I join him in praising all of my colleagues and the staff for the great work. It was a very positive bipartisan process, and I want to underscore that. Let me thank the staff, particularly John Bonsall and Liz King, and all the staff members for the great work they did. We could have not accomplished this without their great effort. As the chairman indicated, the base budget plus OCO in this mark and related non-DOD spending equals approximately $750 billion. I applaud the chairman's decision to move funds from the administration's bloated OCO request to the base for a more realistic and sustainable spending plan. Obviously, to carry out this plan, we need a prompt budget agreement to deal with the BCA caps and provide certainty and predictability to the Department of Defense. The chairman's mark offers much-needed stability that comes with overwhelming bipartisan approval, and it makes important investments in readiness and modernization and includes several pressing reforms. One of these reforms, as indicated by the chairman, is fixing military housing. There are many provisions in the bill that will begin to correct the unacceptable state of military privatized family housing. We have had 2 high-level hearings on this topic, and the chairman has indicated that he intends to convene more until the problems are resolved for the benefit of military families. We were able to respond to the administration's request for a Space Force after a hearing and careful review by authorizing a streamlined organization that avoids unnecessary bureaucracy while focusing on the increasing challenges in space. One area of disagreement continues to be the use of valuable MILCON funding to build the wall. I anticipate we will continue efforts on the floor to redirect these funds to their authorized uses. Let me close and say this bill represents an important step forward, but we still have a long way to go, especially in reaching a suitable budget deal. And now, in the absence of Senator Inhofe, I'm going to ask John and Liz to come forward, and they will take questions and direct them to the appropriate staff member. Thank you all very much.